It all began with a rumor, one that started quietly and spread like wildfire in a matter of hours. Whispers on social media, blurry photos, and cryptic posts had fans all asking the same question. Did Yaman and Demet Özdemir really meet again? For years, their story had been a mix of passion, pain, and mystery, an on-screen romance that became something much more real behind the cameras. They had once been inseparable, then distant, and finally, completely silent. Until now. According to sources close to both, the long-awaited reunion didn't happen on a red carpet or at a film set, it happened in private, away from the flashing cameras, in a quiet corner of Istanbul where neither expected to cross paths again. At first, no one believed it. Fans thought it was just another rumor, another recycled story to keep the tabloids running. But then, a single photo appeared. It showed Can and Demet, sitting at a cafe by the Bosphorus, both wearing sunglasses, trying to stay unnoticed. The photo was taken from a distance, blurry, but it was enough. The internet exploded. Within minutes, hashtags like #CanDemetReunion and #TheyMetAgain were trending worldwide. Some fans cried, some celebrated, and others were simply shocked. Could it really be true after all these years? Insiders quickly began to talk. According to one who claimed to have been at the same location, the meeting wasn't planned. It was completely unexpected, the source said. They greeted each other like old friends, nervous smiles at first, then genuine warmth. You could tell it wasn't just a coincidence. The witness described the atmosphere as tense but emotional. For nearly an hour, the two spoke quietly, leaning in close, avoiding eye contact with anyone else. They weren't arguing, the source added. It looked like closure, or maybe a new beginning. That sentence alone was enough to send the internet into meltdown. For years, fans of Can and Demet had been dissecting every word, every post, every subtle gesture they made. When they worked together, sparks flew, both on screen and off. Their chemistry was undeniable, their connection electric. But fame, pressure, and distance eventually pulled them apart. Still, the idea that they might one day reconnect had always lingered in the minds of their followers. And now, that moment had finally come. Soon after the photo leaked, another clue appeared, a story posted by Demet herself. A picture of the sea, with a caption that read, "Some meetings aren't planned, they're meant to happen." The timing was too perfect. Fans were convinced it was about Can. Comments flooded in. "We knew it. Destiny brought them back together. This isn't a coincidence, it's fate." And while Demet didn't confirm or deny it, she didn't delete the post either. Meanwhile, Yaman, who was abroad filming a new project, suddenly became silent on social media. For a man known for his confidence and strong words, the silence spoke volumes. One Italian magazine reported that he had been seen looking emotional at a recent event. He smiled for the cameras, a journalist said, but there was a heaviness in his eyes. People began connecting dots, analyzing gestures, and comparing timelines. It seemed almost too perfect, both of them in Istanbul at the same time, both avoiding public attention, and both posting vague, emotional messages. And then, the biggest revelation came. A journalist close to the entertainment scene released an article claiming that the reunion wasn't accidental at all. According to this report, a mutual friend had arranged the meeting, hoping to help them talk and finally put the past to rest. They needed to speak privately, away from the noise, the journalist wrote. It wasn't about rekindling romance, it was about peace. But others weren't so sure. One anonymous insider said, the way they looked at each other. It wasn't just about closure. There was something else there, something unspoken. That comment reignited the flames. Social media went wild with theories. Some believed they were getting back together, others thought it was simply two people seeking forgiveness and understanding after years of silence. One thing was certain, whatever happened between them that day had stirred emotions neither could hide. Days later, a fan spotted Demet at the airport, smiling softly, looking at peace. When asked about the rumors, she simply said, "Sometimes life brings people back for a reason." That sentence broke the internet. It was all the confirmation fans needed. Italian and Turkish news outlets ran the story for days. The reunion everyone waited for, read one headline. Another declared, Can and Demet, the meeting that changed everything. But what did they actually talk about? While no one knows the full details, a close acquaintance of Demet's reportedly said that much of their conversation was emotional. They talked about how things ended, about the misunderstandings, the hurt, the distance. But there was no anger. It was calm, honest, and full of respect. Apparently, at one point, Ken told her, "You'll always have a place in my story." And she replied, softly, "You were a beautiful chapter." Those words, though unconfirmed, spread across the internet like poetry, screenshotted, shared, translated into dozens of languages. After that day, both returned to their normal lives, but something had changed. Demet looked more serene in her next appearances. Ken seemed quieter, more introspective. Fans described it as a kind of emotional reset, as if both had finally closed a door that had remained half open for too long. Still, some believe it's not over, that this was only the beginning of something new. One fan commented, "You can't erase that kind of connection. Maybe they just needed time." Even entertainment analysts couldn't ignore the timing. "Public interest in them has skyrocketed again," one noted. "If they ever worked together in the future, it would be a global phenomenon." Weeks after the reunion, Kim posted a message that seemed to echo everything fans had felt. "Life has a way of bringing people back to remind you what truly matters." He didn't mention any names, but he didn't have to. The world already knew who he was talking about. And Demet? She simply posted a single heart emoji, no words, no explanations, and within minutes, it became one of her most liked posts ever. For fans around the world, this wasn't just another celebrity story. It was a reminder of something deeper, that even after distance, misunderstandings, and time, some bonds never completely fade. Maybe their reunion wasn't about reigniting love. Maybe it was about healing. Two people, once deeply connected, finally finding peace, not in front of cameras, but in quiet, genuine human understanding. Because sometimes, what's said in private means more than 1,000 interviews. And when two hearts that once beat in the same rhythm meet again, even the world stops for a moment, and just listens, and maybe that's why their story refuses to fade, because it was never just about fame or headlines. It was about two souls who met at the right time, lost each other, and still found the courage to speak again. People close to them say that after that reunion, both Can and Demet seemed lighter, freer, as if they'd let go of something they'd carried for years. No one knows what the future holds, friendship, love, or simply closure, but one thing is clear, that meeting changed everything. And sometimes, one quiet conversation can heal what 1,000 apologies could not.